Hi everybody, Mopsy here again. Carla is wanting to create a short single stitch line like you'd have in a placement line, and she's tried a few variations, none of which have worked. She's on the right lines. Um, I'm just going to show her how I would do it. I'm going to open a new hoop here, and as always there's a workaround, and you're so close to this, Carla. First of all, I'm going to go into the draw package and create a new bitmap and say OK, and I'm going to make it 1 by 6 inches, and there we have it open in the draw package. And then I know this first line is too thin um, to use. I'm going to go to the third line down. It will leave me with less to delete after. I'm also going to go to my red on the colour and click with my right and left mouse button. So I've got the red colour, and I'm coming up here to the straight line, and I'm going to draw a straight line, hold the mouse key down, left mouse key, and then if I hold my control button on my keyboard, that will force it to be a straight line. And while I'm here, I'm going to come over to my palette again, click right and left mouse button to change my palette to blue. I'm still on the line, and I'm going to draw a blue line here, hold my control key down so it forces a straight line, and that's all I'm going to do. So I'm going to close it, save changes, yes, and I've already did a practice on this, so I'm going to call it lines, and you can see I've already got it here, and yes, I want to replace it. So there we have the 2 lines on the screen. Still a graphic at the moment, so I now need to go to Autopunch next, and there we have the image on the screen. Size on the cropping doesn't matter because I'm not going to do the outline, sorry, I beg your pardon, the background of it. And let's see what it suggests. There we go, it's seen the blue and it's seen the red there. Had I gone any smaller or thinner on the line, it may not have picked it up. So this is why I say use at least the third size width of the line available there. So next, and I'm going to drag the tail down. Next, don't stitch the background. Next, and I'm not going to bother with anything here, I'm just going to finish. And there we have 2 lines on the screen, and this is about where Carla gets to when she gets stuck. So first thing I'm going to do is pick up the red one and go to my outline edit and come up to my design and embroidery settings, and the first thing I'm going to change is the stitch angle. But hang on, before I do that, I want to zoom in a little bit closer so you can see better. So embroidery settings, the stitch angle is 45. I'm going to change that to 90 and apply that, and there, stitch that and close and come out of the outline edit. So there you go, Carla, you can already see what I'm going to do. There we have the line, and at the moment it's, now I've changed the angle to vertical, we've got lots of straight lines, so now it's just a process of deleting what we don't want. So I'm going to come up to the stitch edit, I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and I'm on my keyboard on my right and left arrows. I'm just going to have a look and see what happens on the stitches. So I'm going to press my right arrow, and it moves around a little bit, then goes up to the top and then comes down, up and down. So this is how it's going to stitch. Okay, I'm just holding the right arrow on my keyboard. Okay, so then it moves there. So let me come out and go back into that again. Let me zoom into this tiny little bit here and just see what happens. Again, right arrow. I'm not adjusting anything, I'm just having a look at the moment to see what happens. Right, so there's a stitch, and then it comes back down. That's like a lock stitch, and then it comes across, down, and then it starts going up. So here I come to the delete button, and I'm going to hit the right arrow key, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then come off of the delete. And now I'm not deleting anything, I'm just moving, following the stitches up till I get to the top. I'm just hitting the right arrow key on my keyboard, and there I get to the top. And now from here on in, everything else I want to delete, so I'm coming back to my delete key and then pressing again the right arrow key on my keyboard. I'm going to zoom out a little bit, or back so you can see what happens. So here I go with the right arrow key on my keyboard, and I'm just keeping the button held in, and I'm going to do this all the way until it goes over to the blue line. It's still got a little bit more. There, okay. And at that point I'm going to come out of that, and there you see we're left with the line. Because I've moved it, it's just the graphic part of the program. If I view redraw, you can see it's only doing the one line on the red. So although on the screen it looked thicker when I move it, and the moment I move it again it's going to look thicker, it's not there. Trust me, it's not there, it's just on the screen. So I'm going to save the design as lines and replace the one I did. Yes. I'm going to close out, and then I'm going to reopen lines again, and there you can see, if I come up and zoom in, there we have the single red line. And now all I have to do is repeat the same thing with the blue line if I wanted it like parallel. I'm just going to have a look down here. Okay, I can see, I come out again, the stitching at the moment is going to start from the center, it's going to move down to the bottom, and at the bottom it's going to put a couple of little stitches in which I don't want. So again I'm coming to my stitch edit and right arrow, right arrow, right arrow, right arrow. So I'm going to come to my delete key and now use left, 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 and come out of it, come out of my outline edit, save design, close, open it again, and let's see if I got rid of all those stitches. I got rid of most of them. I've got, by the look of it, one more there to do. So let's go to the delete key, right arrow, come out again, come out of that and save. Hopefully this time, no, that may be again the graphics just fooling me. Let's go to redraw, and yeah, it has got rid of it. It's just because Singer's being being Singer, it looks like it's there, but it actually isn't, as you can see by the redraw. I hope that helps you, Carla. Now you just go and do the same thing with the blue. Come to the outline edit, come to the embroidery settings, change the stitch angle to the 90 degrees so you get them vertical. Apply that, stitch it and close, come out of the outline edit, and then come into the stitch edit, and first of all let's see where it wants to take us. Okay, it's going up and down. I just want to find like the start or the end point of it. So here we go. Here it does like a knot stitch, comes across like it did on the other one, and then starts going down. So I need to delete everything before this point. So here we go, delete, and then the right arrow on my keyboard, delete, 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 until it starts here. Turn off my delete, and then right arrow, let me zoom out a little bit, right arrow on my keyboard till I get down to the bottom, and there it starts to come up again. So back to my delete key, right arrow, and I'm just keeping it held down until it gets rid of all the other vertical lines there. I think that might be the last one. Yeah. So come out of the delete, turn that off, and I'm going to save it. And let's just have a look to see where we're at. I'm going to go into the redraw. Okay, so we've still got a little bit on the blue there that I need to delete. So here we go. Come up to the red one, across, down the blue. That's the one we want. So I've just got like one long jump stitch there that I don't want. So hit my delete key, and there we have got rid of it. And come out of that, save, close, open it again, and there we have just two, in this case two single lines. I hope that's answered your question, Carla. If you still have a problem, let me know, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye everybody.